My good buddy George just got back with our 2021 Chevy Silverado we got out of Lexington West, which is only, well, usually about an hour drive. He made it into about a 4-hour drive. But we've got an exciting rebuild for you guys. We got a Chevy Silverado 3500 High Country dually that is hit in the front. And I'm a little nervous about this one. It's all about the frame pull on this one. If we can do the frame pull, the rest of it's gonna be boom, boom, boom. And especially if the rails push back. So let me show you what we got going on here. This is my first time to look at the truck too, so bear with me. It's hit here in the front. We can strip the front down and we can get all new parts and hang them on there. The horns, the frame horns are gonna be in. To me, the big question with this truck is all about the passenger side frame rail. If that rail is pushed back, then we got problems. That's a big job. That's a real big job. There's only 2 or 3 frame racks in the entire city that can deal with pulling that frame back, if it's even possible at all. So we're about to find out, but as is tradition, we got this truck from Copart as a ride and drive. So what does that mean? For all of you that have been watching the channel, that means it does not run and it doesn't drive. And it also means that it's locked up and we can't even get in the damn thing. So Richard's trying to break into it. Hopefully we can find the keys in there and start it. Who knows? We're about to find out. All right, so we got the thing unloaded. Thankfully, Richard's okay, but what a hassle that was trying to get unlocked with it on the side of the rollback. He fell off the thing. It did start, that was good. He found the keys, they were in there, it started. It has no power steering, and one thing I noticed on my walk around right away is the bed. Something was in the bed of this truck when it hit it. It's gone forward, it's damaged the cab, it's ripped the side of the beds off there, so there's gonna be some work there. The thing that blows me away is there's no deployed airbags. Makes no sense. This wheel is leaning in quite a bit. The serpentine belt is off of the engine. I'm sure that's why we don't have any power steering. And there's something that's leaking oil all over the driver's side of the engine and it's up underneath it. So clearly it was running. We're gonna need a whole bunch of stuff up here. The core support's got a big bend in it. Your grill, your radiator, your condenser, your intercooler, the bumper, you know, this entire assembly, we're gonna need all this. That's gonna require breaking it down, taking it apart, and just seeing what's damaged. Really, the rest of the truck looks pretty good. It does start and run. We're gonna have to get some batteries in it though, so that it can consistently start. The real question for me is about the frame. Let me show you something, come here. So what's gonna make or break this rebuild is the frame, and more specifically is if we're dealing with just changing or tweaking something on the front end, or if one of these 2 frame rails has actually been pushed back. They call that diamonding the frame, and it's pretty much not fixable. So what you can do as a quick test is you look down the inside of the rear tire and you look up to the front tire and see if they're still lined up right. On this tire, I am inside of the front tire, which would tell me this axle is forward, which would make you think this frame rail's pushed back. Let's see about this side. Interesting. This side's pretty much dead on, right where it should be, right on the inside of the front tire. That's really weird. So one of the 2 frame rails is shorter than the other one, or this one's been pushed back, but I don't know, I'm a little confused on that. The next thing to do is get the frame guy over here to take a look at this thing, have him give me some good news, as I am the eternal optimist and the gambler. But one thing's for sure, this is gonna be an exciting rebuild. I am looking forward to getting this thing tore apart and getting it back on the road.
12 seconds later.
Richard's trying to piss me off. First thing on this rebuild, what do you got? Don't talk to me about the frame. All right, this calls for getting dirty. Oh yeah.
The 2 drive shafts up in the front, sitting something.
No, fucking Richard, he's just trying to piss me off.
Look right here.
That's from there.
What about that?
The tow truck.
What about that wrinkle?
It is not supposed to be wrinkled.
It is not supposed to be wrinkled.
Holy that, my friend, is a pretty big wrinkle. I don't know if there's anybody out there that can get that out of there. I wonder if the other side's got the same problem. Yeah, you don't have that over here. So there's oil all over the driver's side on the bottom side of the engine, but this frame rail over here looks pretty good, but that side, oh, it's crumpled up pretty bad. All right, it's the moment of truth. We got Joe Harkey here from Northern Kentucky Frame. He is gonna take a look at this thing and see if we can fix it, if it's even doable. So I'm gonna get it up in the air, we're gonna get up under there, show them what we got. Keep your fingers crossed. Oh boy, Joe. This is the spot right here that has me worried. You were talking about the frame horns.
Yeah, on the left side.
Oh yeah. Oh, this horn here's hammered. The driver's side frame horn right here goes at about a 30-degree angle. So that's bad. But what I was wanting to make sure you saw was this right here.
It's actually bent right here.
Yeah, it's here and it's there. at me like that. You're making me worry.
There's no way I can do that on that rack. Can't do it.
Yeah. So, put a new frame under it?
Yes. Most of the time you could cut them off right here, but this one you can't.
You cut it off right in front or behind of where the cross member is.
Right.
But this one we can't because the crease is behind the cross member.
Behind the cross.
This one back here, in addition to that one, that's worrying. That makes it where it's just not doable. Because then you're cutting it all the way back here.
That's right. I mean, if you could get it up in there somewhere, you're fine, but that would be...
You're halfway back.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be so damn expensive. They're $119 an hour.
What's that?
There's a frame shop, the only one that I know around here.
That could pull this?
No, they wouldn't pull it, they'd cut it.
Yeah, but he's gonna get me for $5,000 or something to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I paid $21 for it. Probably a $50,000 truck with the rebuild title. Well, I guess the $1 million question is what I can get a frame for. Just do a frame swap on it.
The whole damn thing. It'll take a van 2 weeks and do it.
Yeah, so if we could get them to do it for even $7,000 or $8,000, we'd probably be better off having them do a stub on it, you know, because that'd be cheaper than putting a frame under it.
I mean, most people don't do that anymore. Let me make some phone calls when I get back. Let me do it and see what I can come up with.
I like that. Yeah, if you would, make some phone calls. Yeah.
It is what it is. You know, you hate like hell to get stuck with one, but man.
We might be taking this one back to Copart.
A few inches later.
Hello?
Gabe,
Yeah, what's up?
you are not gonna believe it. Get your down here.
Alright, I'm coming. Jesus Christ. This is not good.
Need a pry bar, Billy?
Yeah?
They ran that truck yesterday.
Oh my god, okay.
The Silverado?
Yeah.
Look at this thing.
What about it?
It brought $25,250.
Holy.
And it's sold.
Well, how much did you get from it originally? What did you
I had
get?
21,180 in it. I mean, purchase price. I thought I was going to take a hell of a gut punch on this thing, but
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to have to go run the numbers. But I think we might have actually made money on this thing.
Holy cow.
I know. I can't believe it. I'm excited. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I am making this video, that I am sharing this video with you guys. What a crazy truck. I mean, this is like the world flipped on its axis or something. Let's go over the numbers on this thing. What a wild ride. On our 2022 Silverado 3500 High Country. So, of course, as it is always, by the time I paid all their fees, and you know how they love their fees, I had $21,180 into the truck. And fortunately, we got it right here in the Bluegrass State, just down in Lexington at Copart, Lexington West, which is about 60 miles from here. George was able to roll down there and then roll back and back. Took a half a day. So we're gonna put 150 bucks on there for his time and fuel. And then we had some labor. We had all that drama with trying to unload that thing where it was locked up. We couldn't get it started. And Richard was trying to get a good workers' comp claim on my and get about 6 months getting paid to do nothing. That was about 400 bucks. Then we had to take it back down to Copart again. So another 150 in transportation. So all said and done, we got $21,880 into the truck. And as you just saw, this thing brought some crazy money. I mean, awesome, awesome, awesome. $25,250 we got at the sale, which is just fantastic. Copart wasn't finished getting done in my wallet. They got me for another $339. So we got a net check for $24,911, which gives us a difference of almost exactly $3,000. And that difference is in the positive. Yeah, that's insane. You don't ever make money doing this, and do not try to repeat it at home, okay? I have been doing this for 18 years. We're getting close to our 7,000th car, and this is only the second time I can ever remember taking something back to Copart and actually breaking even. So this is an example where life gave me some lemons and we made some lemonade. That brings us to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe. I'm Matt Ryan, and this was another episode of NKY Auto.